Steelers, Stephen A. brought that up. They did hire their head coach. Mike McCarthy will take over as the Steelers team that said goodbye to Mike Tomlin after 19 years. They have a very expensive defense and a big question mark at quarterback. Steelers president Art Rooney said that the door is still open for Aaron Rodgers to return, but that was not the deciding factor on whether or not to bring in McCarthy. But given their relationship, everyone, should Rodgers return for another season with the Steelers? Jeff, what do you think? Do you think Rodgers should go back to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I don't think that would be an issue for me, Rodgers going back. My bigger issue is who are the guys? Are you going to go draft one? Are you going to bring one in to develop? I think that's really why you bring Mike McCarthy in. It's not to manage, Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career. It's to develop the next guy in Pittsburgh that, to Stephen A's point a minute ago, they haven't been able to find. And I think that's what differentiated Mike McCarthy from the other candidates as Rooney's. And they believe that, look, we got a guy who's developed quarterbacks. He's won games in the NFL. He can do these things. You know, even if you have a decent season or a good season with Aaron Rodgers, you still have to have some kind of pattern for, to go and move on beyond this. And I think that's why you bring McCarthy in. So, if Rodgers decides to come back, great. But if he doesn't, I think that's why you went out and got McCarthy. Can he coach Aaron Rodgers? It's proven absolutely. But you need the next guy. You need to be concerned with who's coming in next. I don't think even with Aaron Rodgers that the Steelers go on and win the Super Bowl next year or even get to the AFC Championship game. Could they win a playoff game? Maybe. But I don't know that McCarthy gives me any more confidence than Mike Tomlin did. So we need to talk about the future in Pittsburgh, not just a 42-year-old quarterback that's going to be 43 once the season starts.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff to a point. My answer is no, though. I don't think they should be bringing Aaron Rodgers back. I think you're bringing Mike McCarthy. You're moving on from what we've seen transpire in Pittsburgh since 2016 with them falling short to win a playoff game. I think running it back with Aaron Rodgers, replacing Mike Tomlin with Mike McCarthy is almost like Groundhog Day. You're doing the same thing. And for Steelers fans, they're looking around and they're like, well, what are we doing? We're going to try and now go to the divisional round or to the championship weekend and think we're going to get to the Super Bowl with this same roster with Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback. I think to Jeff's point, I guess there's a thought process that you bring Rodgers back and he's almost a bridge quarterback to the next guy. I can't see Aaron Rodgers saying, yes, I'm going to come back to help bring in that next guy and show him the ropes and be that mentor where my arm is around him all training camp and we're just hanging out and we're buddies. I don't see that happening. So to me, if you're the Steelers, it's time. It's time to move on. You've brought in Mike McCarthy with the belief that he's an offensive coach, that he's been around good quarterback play, and he can help get the next guy ready. So do that. Don't rip the Band-Aid off and don't continue in that same process and journey you've been on. Try something different with a new quarterback.
I completely agree with you. And here's the thing that I just want to say. Like we talk about it being more, say, you're going to move on from Mike Tomlin. You need to give me better than Mike McCarthy. I mean, no disrespect. The man's won 61% of his games. He's a Super Bowl champion.
They wanted Tomlin.
And I know my Tomlin left, but I'm just saying, you hired Chuck Noll. You remember, he's there for 23 years. He was in his 30s. You go out and you get Bill Cowher. He was 35. You go out and you get Mike Tomlin. He was 35, okay? This is the days of Dan Rooney. Now, Art Rooney II, who's been the president since 2003, has really been in control from 2017 once his daddy passed away, God rest his soul. The bottom line is this, y'all. This is your first hire. And you go against everything that has worked for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What have we raved about with this organization? They had 3 coaches in the franchise's history. Yeah. 3 coaches. And now here you come with a dude that none of us expect to last past 3 years or so, okay? That's just the reality of the situation. So you're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? This was your quarterback depth chart at the start of the season. It was Aaron Rodgers. It was Mason Rudolph. It was Will Howard.
Indeed.
And Skylar Thompson. Sound like a soap opera. I mean, I would know. Mr. Brick from General Hospital. I would know. It sounds like Skylar Thompson. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to send a better message to the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base than that. And Aaron Rodgers, we respect the man. The man is 42 years old. Yep. He's going to be 43 in December. Aaron Rodgers, did y'all know this? He completes 71% of his passes in a clean pocket. Do you know what that percentage dipped to under pressure? 42%. Did you know that 72% of his passes was for 10 air yards or less? So you dipping and dunking all the time. Now, you completed about 72% of those passes. I don't give a damn. If everything is just, dipping and dunking underneath, What's that going to accomplish? You got to be able to throw the ball down the field. You got, by the way, DK Metcalf. Listen, I love DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a stud. But as a number one, he had a difficult time getting open. Shouldn't have lost Pickens.
Yep.
You understand? Shouldn't have let that man get away to Dallas. Maybe Aaron Rodgers would have been a lot better if you kept Pickens with Metcalf, okay? But you didn't do that. Well, damn it, he ain't coming back. He's still in Dallas. Who you got now? And I'm just looking at it and I'm saying, wait, your GM, Omar Khan, this man goes out. He spends anywhere from 160, 175 million dollars on the defense. We saw the defense look worse, not better. So, excuse me, Tomlin's gone. The decision maker that's there in Khan has not given us anything to be excited about. You go out and you get a coach that's considered a lateral move, who, by the way, is 27 years older than the previous coaches that you hired when you hired them, giving an infusion to the Steeler Nation and the Steeler fan base. And I'm just looking at this man here. I'm talking about Art Rooney and the quotes or whatever. You've given the Pittsburgh Steeler fan base nothing to be excited about. You know what he talked about? He talked like a guy that people were coming to see them for free. He didn't talk about the paying customer. Because you've given them nothing to be excited about. Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to say it on national television. It ain't about Khan right now. It ain't even about McCarthy. McCarthy, please understand. I respect this man as a coach. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's gone to the players. Took Dallas to back-to-back 12-win seasons minimum. I respect this man. It's not about him. It's about the Steeler Nation. It's about the tradition. It's about what you established. It's about what's regressed since that period of time. You ain't won a playoff game in 9 years. You've taken over in 2017. You're 0-6 in the playoffs since that particular moment in time. You're going to hire this man in the 60s, who, by the way, was pushed out of Green Bay, was ultimately pushed out of Dallas with Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott as his quarterback. Now you got 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. You're looking for him, to find a new quarterback for you, to build the culture. He's 62 years old when Aaron Rodgers departed from him, even though their relationship is good now. What did Aaron Rodgers say? You know what? I mean, it was low IQ. He wasn't enthused by the play calling. All of this stuff was reported. This ain't me. This is them. And Art Rooney goes out, hires this man, and then looks into the camera and talks to Steeler Nation and says, well, you know what? We're not concerned about their feelings. The games will say, what? This is Steeler Nation. Who the hell do you think you are? You talking about a man that born on third base thinking he hit a triple? What the hell is that? You don't talk to Steeler Nation like that. Their loyalty, their dedication, their commitment to you, they didn't deserve better than an answer like that. That's what you telling them? We got this. Y'all just sit back and step aside and watch what we do. Who the hell do you think you are? You ain't your daddy, you ain't your uncle, you ain't your family members. You're Rooney, but you ain't them because your record proves that you ain't them. You don't talk to Steeler Nation like that. This is unacceptable, but we got to deal with it because guess what? It ain't like they got much to root for in Pittsburgh other than schemes for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's about it. Hey, ain't got much to root. Ain't got much to root for other than that. Okay?
Hey, for a minute, J-Mac and Shay, for a minute, I didn't know if I was on Get Up or First Take because it was like he got PTSD like Greeny.
Greeny.
He's hurting like that man. Hey, that's a wound. That man's wounded deep in his soul.
Rooney was talking to him.
You know, all them years of cheering, pulling on, boy, hey, he's hurting. I will say this part about the McCarthy hire. To your point, Stephen A., it is way outside the norm for what, and I think the expectations, even as people were talking through this, the expectations were to do similarly of hiring somebody new, bringing in fresh, all those kind of things. I mean, you think about Mike McCarthy being 62, even if he has a great run for 5, I mean, you're talking about the guys nearing 70, like how long do guys want to do this? How much energy? And then you got to go redo this thing again. J-Mac, I think you and I agree about the quarterback situation. I know when I look at this is the problem has to start there, or the solution has to start there. You got to figure that part out for the rest of this. You've depended on a defense, and I know Stephen A. was bashing on the offense with Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers and the way they played, but they did that because they expected the defense to be good, which it did not carry its part. So this team as a whole, offense and defense, has got to get some things fixed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they give him a few more weapons, if they do bring back Aaron Rodgers, we can maybe change our stance on it until then. But McCarthy and the Steelers have not reached the playoffs or won multiple games in the playoffs, I should say, since